Today we are going to talk about a topic which has been prevalent across cricket across eras. Sledging. It's been called different names across different eras, whether it's verbal abuse or mental disintegration. The 1970s Aussie Test team led by Ian Chappell was somebody who could be considered the pioneers of sledging actually. They were called the ugly Aussies and they lived up to their reputation. Ian Chappell had given full freedom to his strike bowler Dennis Lillee to shoot off his mouth, even on the field of play. And Dennis Lillee, who was an aggressive fast bowler, used his body language and also his verbal skills to intimidate the best batsmen of those eras and created a reputation for being a tough nut to crack. Getting runs in Australia in the 1970s was always considered tough for the top batsmen, primarily owing to this ugly Aussie image and also the strike potent force of Dennis Lillee striking. The West Indies cricket team of the 1970s and 1980s, who ruled the cricketing world at that time, were not great believers of speaking their mind on the cricket field. Just the sheer body language that they had, the physical intimidation that they had because of the four striking fast bowlers was good enough, I guess, to intimidate most batsmen present in those eras. Interestingly, the top two batsmen in the eras of 1980s, Sunil Gavaskar and Vivian Richards, were two batsmen against whom not too many bowlers or teams actually tried the strategy of speaking too much. Sunil Gavaskar was known to go into his shell and not listen to anything that was said to him on the field of play. That was the concentration zone that he went into. While Vivian Richards was somebody who looked forward to people speaking to him so that he could retaliate by scoring runs in a torrent. The top batsmen in the 1990s, whether it's a Brian Lara, Sachin Tendulkar or a Steve Waugh, again thrived on conflict. They loved the fact when people came and spoke to them and provoked them. They used that as an inspiration to go and score a lot more runs. Glenn McGrath, a champion fast bowler, changed the way how Australians sledged in the 90s and the 2000s. He was somebody who was so good that he made predictions before the beginning of a series, whether it's related to a 4-0 whitewash or whether it's getting a primary batsman dismissed. And he was so good that he lived up to most of his promises, and that's why it was actually intimidating for people to go into Australia, face up a challenge from McGrath and then be diminished because of it. The 2008 Monkeygate incident between Andrew Simons and Harbhajan Singh actually was a milestone in the era of sledging, I would say. That actually tempered down the Aussies a little. They tempered down their sledging attitude a little because they were actually brought to justice, if you can call it, by the ICC or by the people who mattered. For the next 3-4 years, the Australians were a calmer lot. They were not so physically intimidating. But the new era with Darren Lehman and Michael Clarke ruling the roost in Australia has brought the Aussie aggression back into the fold. Whether it's challenging Jimmy Anderson, who's a strike bowler in the opposition, telling him that you can get a broken arm if you don't get out now. Or actually getting into a sling fight with Dale Steyn, who is the leading strike bowler for opposition like South Africa. The Australians are out there again and trying to intimidate people with their aggression. The Indian captain for the current test match in Adelaide, Virat Kohli, is again an aggressive guy. He was sledged a lot with the Australians crowd last year and the response was typically Virat. He gave it back. That's the way Indians have been designed. The current lot of Indians have been designed to play cricket, and that's the way they are playing it. So sledging has been an integral part of cricket, and sledging will continue to be an integral part of cricket. The names will only be different.